believe pé gbogbo last time yẹn pé òfìsí nígbà yẹn tó gba excuse pé olùṣà tó bá rí mo ṣe gbéṣẹ́ rú tí mo gbéṣẹ́ tó ní kọ̀ọ̀kan kan bí pé kí ló kẹ́ mo dẹ̀ ní promotion tèmi náà ni I didn't know you know promotion kò sí kan baby sitting lèèyàn tó wá ń ṣe.
Ìbí wọ̀ lọ́mọ wa ṣe oríṣẹ́ ìwọ ló láìkì iṣẹ́ rà. Oh my Lord.
Ǹjẹ́ o, ẹ mọ̀ bínú ọ̀gá ọlọ́pàá.
Ẹ kò ṣe.
Ẹ ṣeun.
Bàbá ẹ ní sùúrù náà.
Ẹ mọ̀ bínú.
Ẹ máa fọkàn sí nǹkan tẹ́ ń ṣe.
Ẹ mọ̀ bínú.
Ìtàn tí wọ́n ti rí bọ̀bọ̀ máa ń ṣe níbi kí n bá ń gbé kú dànù ni.
Wọ́n ń gbé lò fẹ́ pa ni fún mélòó ló wà níbi.
Don't worry, you'll be fine. Eh? Just don't give up.
So we are the president negotiations here. So we are ready to play. So if you don't mind now, Jesus. Thank you. So sir, I need to sit with you. Sir, what?
Ibi Madam, get ready.
Fún kí nìyẹn?
Èyí náà máa break yín out nínú prison yìí.
Good day, ma'am.
Kí ló dé tàtúrì ẹ̀?
Actually, mo wá parí nǹkan tí mo bẹ̀rẹ̀ ni. Lọ́jọ́ yẹn kò sáyè fún mi láti lè interview ẹ̀yin gangan. Tí mo bá dé interview yín kí n mọ perspective yín lórí prison reform. Research mi ò complete, ma.
Okay. 30 minutes, not a second more.
30 minutes náà tó fún nǹkan tí mo fẹ́ ṣe, ma. Thank you, ma'am. Ma'am, let us start from the...
I told you that somebody should take you out. Why are you here?
Ìgbà tí mi ò rẹ́ni kankan kó wá escort mi jáde ni mo bọ́ síta, ma.
And who is this?
My assistant.
Àbẹ̀tẹ̀ sọ pé ẹ̀yin nìkan lè máa ń dá ṣiṣẹ́ náà. Am I?
Yes, ó ní high profile subject kan tí a ti fẹ́ interview ti pẹ́, so ó wá wà around reason yẹn tó fi wá inform mi pé ká wá lọ interview ẹ̀.
I see. Òótọ́ ni in fact gbà tó fẹ́ wọlé èmi ni mo clear wọn wọlé bó ṣe wà yẹn àwọn nìkan náà máa ń daṣẹ́ lóòótọ́.
Ẹ jẹ́ arójú ẹ̀ ń gbà náà.
What is it?
Yes, emergency, ọmọ kan bleed.
Emergency.
Bleed seriously.
Okay,
Ìwọ kan ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀ tó fẹ́ play smart ló ti rí màá fi bọ ìfún ẹ lórí dànù ni.
Mi ìwà lé mi.
Now move.
Mi ìwà èmi. Adégòkè.
Move.
Mi ìwà.
Olóò pé mo bẹ̀ ṣe move.
Mi ìwà.
Move.
Adégòkè. Mi ìwà èmi.
Ṣùgbọ́n ṣorí tó bá play smart máa pa ẹ̀ dànù ni o. Now move.
Èmi fi ń ṣara. Move. Mi ìwà èmi. Ọ̀bọ náà ń kọ̀ fún náà. Gbogbo sílẹ̀ kájọ fún ìsara àwọn one on one. Gbogbo sí ẹ̀ṣẹ̀bọ́kùnrin ni ẹ. Adégòkè. Èmi fi ń ṣara. Ìwọ ìlú fìyí ṣara bá ń kọ́lé. Èmi ló ń lọ̀bọ sí. Mú ìwà. On a good day, show the face mi ni. Show the face mi ni mú ìwà. Mú ìwà. Mú ìwà, do you regret what you are doing? Ṣé mo pé life ìyàwó àti ọmọ ẹ wà at stake? I can do anything mú ìwà ọ̀dẹ̀ mọ̀ mi.
Ibẹ̀ tó gún ẹni kan pín sí. Ibẹ̀ ni tẹ́lómi ti bẹ̀rẹ̀. Ó lé ọ̀pọ̀ gbọ́n. Now tell me, who is a step ahead? Who is a step ahead?
Gently.
What if I told you that one African nation defeated European colonizers when the entire continent was falling? What if I told you that this land may hold the oldest human bones ever discovered? A kingdom older than the many civilizations, a land of warrior emperors, ancient churches carved from mountains, lost empires, religious mysteries, and a calendar that lives in another year entirely. This is the story of Ethiopia, the land many call the cradle of humanity. Welcome to Arole Olodumare, where we uncover the world's deepest secrets. Long before modern civilization, before Rome, before Greece, before the pyramid reached their glory, humanity was already walking the lands of Ethiopia. In 1974, scientists made a shocking discovery in Ethiopia's Afar region. They uncovered the fossilized remains of a female human ancestor. Her name became Lucy. Lucy was over 3.2 million years old. She changed history forever. Her bones prove that some of the earliest human ancestors live in East Africa. This discovery caused many archaeologists to call Ethiopia the birthplace of mankind. But Ethiopia's story was only beginning. Around 1000 BCE, ancient kingdoms were already rising in northern Ethiopia. One of the earliest was called the Mount. Its people built temples, irrigation systems, and trade network. They traded with Arabians across the Red Sea, and slowly a powerful civilization emerged, one that would become legendary, the Kingdom of Aksum. By the 1st century AD, Aksum became one of the greatest empires on earth, not just Africa, but the entire world. Historians say Aksum stood beside Rome, Persia, and China, and one of the most powerful civilizations of its time. Its merchants controlled major trade routes: gold, ivory, salt, and spices. Flowed through Ethiopian markets. The empire became rich, very rich, and then something happened that changed Ethiopia forever. Christianity arrived. In the 4th century, King Ezana converted to Christianity. This made Ethiopia one of the first Christian nations on earth. Long before many European kingdoms, Christianity became deeply connected to Ethiopian identity. Ancient churches rose across the land. Priests guarded sacred traditions, and Ethiopia developed one of the oldest Christian cultures in existence. But Ethiopia also carried another mystery, a legend connected to the Bible itself. According to the Ethiopian tradition, the Queen of Sheba traveled to Jerusalem to meet King Solomon. Their meeting became legendary. The story says they had a son named Menelik. And Menelik later became Ethiopia's first emperor. Some Ethiopian tradition even claim the Ark of the Covenant was brought to Ethiopia. To this day, many believe it is hidden inside a guarded church in Aksum. No one is allowed to see it. The mystery remains unsolved. Centuries later, another Ethiopian king stunned the world, King Lalibela. Instead of building churches upward, he carved them downward, directly into solid rock. Entire churches, cut from mountains. This incredible structure became known as the churches of Lalibela. Even modern engineers still wonder how they were built. For many believers, Lalibela became a second Jerusalem. Ethiopia history is filled with war. Empire rose, kingdom collapsed, invaders attacked from every direction. One of the deadliest invasions came in the 1500. A Muslim military leader named Hamad ibn Ibrahim al-Ghazi, known as Hamad Granny, launched a devastating war against Ethiopia. His armies destroyed churches and cities. The Ethiopian empires nearly collapsed, but with the help from Portuguese forces, Ethiopia fought back and survived. Again, by the 1800, Europeans' power were conquering Africa. Britain, France, Belgium, Portugal, Germany, and Italy. Almost the entire continent fell under colonial rule, but Ethiopia refused to bow, and one emperor would change African history forever. His name was Menelik II. In 1896, Italy attempted to colonize Ethiopia. The Europeans believed victory would be easy. They were wrong. Menelik II united European forces from different ethnic groups. Tens of thousands of warriors marched toward Adwa. Then came one of the greatest battles in African history, the Battle of Adwa. Ethiopia crushed the Italian army. The victory shocked the entire world. For the first time in colonial era, an African empire defeated a European power in full-scale modern warfare. Adwa became a symbol of black pride and African resistance. Across the world, black communities celebrated Ethiopia. It became a beacon of freedom. But Italy never forgot the humiliation of Adwa. In 1935, Italian dictator Benito Mussolini invaded Ethiopia again, this time with tanks, airplanes, and poison gas. The war became brutal. Emperor Haile Selassie I appealed to the League of Nations, but the war mostly remained silent. Italy occupied Ethiopia for several years, yet Ethiopian resistance fighters never surrendered. Eventually, during World War II, Italy was defeated and Haile Selassie returned to power. Haile Selassie became one of the most famous African leaders in history. To many African and Black communities worldwide, he represented dignity and independence. In Jamaica, a spiritual movement called Rastafarianism became worshipping him as a divine figure. Ethiopia became spiritually important far beyond Africa. Its influence spread across the Black world, but change was coming. By the 1970s, Ethiopia faced poverty, famine, political unrest. In 1974, Haile Selassie was overthrown. The ancient monarchy ended. A military government known as the DAG seized power. Its leader, Mengistu Haile Mariam. The nation entered years of violence and fear. Thousands died during political purges called the Red Terror. Civil war spread, and Ethiopia entered one of the darkest periods in its history. For decades, Eritrea fought for independence from Ethiopia. Finally, in 1993, Eritrea became its own country, but peace did not last. Another brutal war erupted between Ethiopia and Eritrea from 1998 to 2000. Thousands were unalived. Now, here is something truly fascinating. Ethiopia follows a completely different calendar from most of the world. While many countries use the Gregorian calendar, Ethiopia uses the Ethiopian calendar. This calendar has 13 months, different calculations for the birth of Jesus Christ. That is why Ethiopia is about 7 to 8 years behind the Western calendar. While much of the world is in 2026, Ethiopia is around 2018. Yes, it is literally living in another year. An Ethiopian New Year, known as Enkutatash, is celebrated every September 11. Today, Ethiopia is one of the Africa's most influential nations. Its capital city, Addis Ababa, hosts the headquarters of the African Union. The country has over 100 million people, multiple ethnic groups, ancient traditions, rapid modernization, but modern Ethiopia still faces challenges, ethnic tensions, political conflict, and economic struggles, and yet its spirit remains unbroken. Ethiopia is not just another country. It is one of the world's oldest civilizations, a symbol of African resistance, a land connected to the origins of humanity, a kingdom of ancient faith, a survivor of invasion and war. From Lucy to Aksum, to Adwa to Haile Selassie, Ethiopia's history continues to inspire millions across the world. Ethiopia is one of the Africa's largest economies. Its economy is driven by agriculture, coffee exports, manufacturing, construction, gold, livestock, and aviation. Ethiopia's GDP as of recent estimates is over $150 billion. It is among the fastest growing economies in Africa in recent decades. However, despite economic growth, millions of Ethiopians still face poverty and unemployment. The country continues trying to modernize its economy while dealing with political and ethnic tensions. Ethiopia is one of the Africa's most religious country. Its major religion includes Christianity around 62%, Islam around 34%, traditional beliefs and others around 4%. Most Ethiopian churches belong to Ethiopian Orthodox Church, Protestant churches, and Catholic churches. Islam has existed in Ethiopia since the earliest days of Islam. In fact, some of Prophet Muhammad's followers once fled persecution and found refuge in Ethiopia. Ethiopia has had kings, emperors, military rulers, and prime ministers. Here are some of the most important rulers in Ethiopian history. Ancient and Aksumite rulers: Zoskels, Endubis, Afilans, King Ezana, Caleb. Dagwe dynasty: Maratakla, Haimonid, Lalibela, Yemrehana Crestos. Solomonic dynasty: Yekuno Amlak, Amda Seyon I, Zara Yakob, Lebna Dengel, Sensei Yos I. Ethiopia has a president and a prime minister. The prime minister holds most executive power. Current prime minister Abiy Ahmed. Current president Taye Atse Selassie. Ethiopia has an embassy in Nigeria. Ethiopia Embassy in Nigeria located in Abuja, Nigeria. The embassy handles visa applications, diplomatic relations, passport services, travel assistance. If someone wants to visit Ethiopia, there are several entry options. E-visa. Ethiopia offers an electronic visa system. Travelers can apply online before arrival. Another one, visa on arrival. Some travelers may qualify for visa on arrival depending on nationality. Requirements usually include valid passports, passport photograph, travel itinerary, hotel reservation, return ticket, and visa fee payment. Sometimes vaccination records may be required, especially yellow fever certificate for some African travelers. Foreigners can work, study, invest, or live in Ethiopia. However, migration comes with challenges. Like many countries, Ethiopia has areas that can be dangerous. Potential risks include ethnic conflicts, political protests, religious instability, inflation, language barriers, limited infrastructure in some regions. Certain border regions may experience violence or military activity. That is why travelers should always check current security advice, respect local laws, and avoid conflict zones. But many parts of Ethiopia remain peaceful and culturally rich. Ethiopia is located in East Africa. It belongs to the Horn of Africa region. Neighboring countries include Eritrea, Sudan, South Sudan, Kenya, Somalia, and Djibouti. Its location made Ethiopia an important center for trade, religion, migration, and ancient civilizations. Ethiopia has many colorful festivals. Some of the most famous include Enkutataash, Ethiopia New Year, Timkat, Ethiopia Epiphany, Meskel, Finding of the True Cross, Jena, Ethiopian Christmas, Festival,
Ethiopian Easter, Eid al-Fitr, Muslim celebration, Eid al-Adha, Muslim sacrifice festival, Irecha, Oromo Thanksgiving festival. Ethiopia contributes many products to the world market. Its biggest exports include coffee. Ethiopia is famous worldwide for coffee. Many believe coffee originated there. Gold mining contributes heavily to the economy. Livestock. Ethiopia has one of the African largest livestock populations. Flowers, especially roses, exported to Europe. Leather products. Shoes and leather goods are major exports. Airlines. Ethiopia Airlines is one of the African biggest and most respected airlines. Ethiopia is more than a nation. It is one of humanity's oldest homes, a symbol of African independence, a spiritual center, a rising economic power, a country balancing ancient traditions with modern ambition. Its story continues to shape Africa and the world. From ancient kingdoms to modern skyscraper, from warrior emperors to global diplomacy, Ethiopia remains one of the most fascinating countries on earth. This is Arole Olodumare. Subscribe for more powerful African history documentaries. African history must never be forgotten. Bye for now.
Sir, it is my esteemed pleasure to introduce Mr. and Mrs. Donald Trump.
This is Arole Olodumare, where history speaks, power is revealed, and hidden truths come alive. Today, we uncover the complete life story of one of the most controversial and influential men in modern history. Donald Trump. Businessman, billionaire, television star, president. But before the fame, before the power, there was a family story that began generations earlier. This is the full story of Donald Trump. Donald Trump's family roots come from two different parts of Europe. Trump's grandfather was Frederick Trump. Frederick was born in Germany in 1869. As a young man, he immigrated to the United States seeking opportunity and a better future. During the gold rush era, Frederick operated restaurants and hotels, serving miners and travelers. Over time, he built wealth and established the Trump family's early business foundation. He later married Elizabeth Christ Trump. After Frederick died in 1918, during the influenza pandemic, Elizabeth helped continue the family business. Together, they laid the foundation for what would later become the Trump real estate empire. Donald Trump's father was Fred Trump. He was born in 1905. Fred Trump became a highly successful real estate developer in New York. He focused mainly on apartment building, housing development, middle-class housing projects. Fred was known as extremely disciplined, tough in business, financially smart, and competitive. He built thousands of homes across New York City and became a millionaire long before Donald entered business. Fred strongly influenced Donald's personality. Many people believe Donald learned aggressive negotiation, confidence, business ambition, and competitive thinking directly from his father. Donald Trump's mother was Mary Ann MacLeod Trump. She was born in Scotland in 1912 on the Isle of Lewis. Mary came from a humble background and immigrated to America in search of a better life. Unlike Fred's street personality, Mary was often described as calm, elegant, religious, and family-oriented. She loved tradition and played a strong role in raising the children. Donald later said his mother had a strong social personality and loved glamour, something many believe influenced his attraction to luxury and fame. Donald John Trump was born on June 14, 1946 in Queens, New York City. He was the fourth of 5 children in the Trump family. From childhood, Donald displayed confidence, energy, competitiveness, strong emotions, and leadership tendencies, but he was also difficult to control. Teachers and relatives described him as aggressive and rebellious. Donald grew up in a wealthy environment, but his home was highly disciplined. His father expected hard work, strength, and success. Donald loved sports, attention, competition, and winning. He reportedly disliked weakness and hating loose. As he became more rebellious, his parents decided to send him away to military school. At the age of 13, Donald was sent to New York Military Academy. The school focused on discipline, leadership, and military structure. Trump adapted surprisingly well. He became active in sports, leadership activities, and student competition. Many people believe military school helped shape his commanding personality, his confidence, and his aggressive communication style. After military school, Trump attended Fordham University. He later transferred to University of Pennsylvania, one of the America's top business schools. He graduated in 1968 with a degree in economics. At that point, Donald was preparing to join the family business. Trump joined a his father's company, which later became the Trump Organization. Unlike his father, Donald wanted luxury and publicity. He moved aggressively into Manhattan real estate. Trump became famous for luxury hotels, casinos, office towers, golf resorts, and branding deals. One of his most famous projects was Trump Tower. The building became a symbol of wealth and celebrity culture. Despite success, Trump also experienced major failures. Several of his businesses struggled financially. Some casinos and companies declared bankruptcy. Critics predicted his downfall many times, but Trump repeatedly rebuilt his image and returned to the public attention. That ability to survive failure became central to his public identity. Donald Trump became known worldwide as a billionaire. His wealth has changed over the years depending on property values, business performance, investment, and branding deals. His wealth has often been estimated in billions of dollars. His money comes from real estate, golf resorts, hotel, licensing deals, media ventures. Regardless of exact number, Trump successfully transformed his name into a global brand. Trump's fame exploded globally through The Apprentice. The show presented him as a powerful businessman making high-level decisions. His famous phrase, "You are fired," became world famous. This television success helped prepare him for politics. Trump had spoken about politics for many years, but in 2015, he officially announced his presidential campaign. Most political experts believed he could never win, but Trump used social media, massive rallies, television coverage, strong nationalist messaging to dominate public attention. In 2016, he defeated Hillary Clinton and became the 45th President of the United States. Donald Trump never fought personally as a soldier. However, during his presidency, he oversaw military actions involving Afghanistan, Syria, Iraq, ISIS operations, Iran tensions. He authorized the operation that unalived the ISIS leader, Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi. He also ordered the strike that unalived the Iranian general Qasem Soleimani. Trump identified as a Christian. He has connection to Presbyterian Christianity and non-denominational Christianity. Religion became an important part of his political image and support base. Donald Trump enjoys playing golf, watching television, reading newspaper, public speaking, business negotiation, luxury living, and political rallies. Golf is considered his favorite hobby. He owns multiple golf resorts worldwide. Donald Trump has been married 3 times. his first wife, Ivana Trump. She has 3 children for him. The first name, Donald Trump Jr., was born 1977. Ivanka Trump was born 1981. Eric Trump was born 1984. The second wife, Maya Maples, got only one child for him. The name was Tiffany Trump. She was born 1993. The current wife, Melania Trump, she got only one child for him, Baron Trump. He was born 2006. Donald Trump has several grandchildren through his children. Some of the best known include Kai Trump, Donald Trump III, Tristan Trump, Spencer Trump, Chloe Trump, Arabella Kushner, Joseph Kushner, Theodore Kushner. His grandchildren are often seen at political events and family gatherings. Trump's presidency faced major controversies, especially during COVID-19. His handling of pandemic divided public opinion. He also became the first US president impeached 2 times. Trump lost the election 2020 to Joe Biden, but he refused to fully accept the results. This eventually contributed to January 6 Capitol attack, one of the most controversial moments in modern American history. In conclusion, from immigrant family roots to billionaire businessman to television celebrity to president of the United States, Donald Trump became one of the most recognized figures on earth. Loved by supporters, criticized by opponents, but impossible to ignore. If you enjoyed this documentary, subscribe now to Ayo Olaiya on YouTube and TikTok. Like this video, share it with others, and drop your comments. Until next time, keep learning, keep discovering, and keep the story alive. In the early 1800s, deep inside the forest of Yoruba land, a young boy was watched his world born. His hometown was destroyed. His family was captured, and chains were placed around his neck. That little boy was about to be sold forever into slavery. But history had another plan for him. He will rise from slavery to become the first African bishop in history. He will bring education, Christianity, literacy, and Bible translation to West Africa. His name was Samuel Ajayi Crowther. Welcome to Ayo Olaiya on YouTube and TikTok, where African history, hidden truths, and powerful stories come alive. If you love deep African documentaries like this, subscribe right now, like this video, and turn on the notification bell, because today we are going to deep into the real story of Bishop Samuel Ajayi Crowther. Samuel Ajayi Crowther was born around 1807 in Oshogun town, near present-day Oyo State, Nigeria. At that time, Nigeria did not yet exist as one country. The land was divided into kingdoms and empires. The Yoruba Empire, the Benin Kingdom, the Hausa city-states, and many others. Ajayi was born into a Yoruba family. His father was believed to be a farmer and local weaver, a respected man in the community. His mother was known as a hardworking Yoruba woman who deeply cared for her children and traditions. But the world around them was changing rapidly. West Africa had become one of the biggest centers of the slave trade. For hundreds of years, millions of Africans were being captured and sold. Entire villages disappeared overnight. Families were broken forever. And the nightmare was coming closer to Ajayi's home. Around 1821, when Ajayi was about 12 years old, war exploded across Yoruba land. The Owu War had begun. Slave raiders moved from village to village. Homes were burned. Children were kidnapped. People were tied with ropes like animals. One terrible day, Ajayi's hometown was attacked. Chaos filled the air. People were screaming as warriors stormed the village. Ajayi, his mother, and members of his family were captured. Bound together, marched through forests, beaten, sold from one trader to another. For months, the young boy witnessed human suffering beyond imagination. Eventually, he was taken toward the coast, and there, Portuguese slave traders bought him. Ajayi was forced onto a slave ship, a floating prison filled with fear, disease, and death. He was about to disappear into the Atlantic slave trade forever, but destiny intervened. Before the Portuguese ship crossed the Atlantic Ocean, something unexpected happened. The British Royal Navy appeared. At this time, Britain had officially started fighting against the slave trade. Their anti-slavery naval force, known as the West African Squadron, intercepted the slave ship across the Atlantic coast. The Portuguese ship carrying Ajayi was stopped. The captives were freed. For the first time in months, the chains came off. Ajayi's life had been saved. The freed captives were taken to Freetown in Sierra Leone, and this was the beginning of a new chapter. In Sierra Leone, Ajayi encountered something that would change his destiny forever. Education. Christian missionaries began teaching the rescued slaves how to read, how to write, and how to speak English. Ajayi learned quickly, very quickly. Teachers soon realized that this young Yoruba boy was extremely intelligent. In 1825, he was baptized into Christianity, and during baptism, he received a new name, Samuel Crowther. The name Crowther came from an Anglican clergyman. From that day forward, Ajayi became known as Samuel Ajayi Crowther. But unlike many others, Samuel never forgot where he came from. He understood African languages, African traditions, and African suffering, and that would later make him one of the most important Africans in modern history. As Samuel grew older, he became deeply passionate about language and education. At that time, many African languages had never been fully written down. So, Samuel began one of the greatest work of his life. He started translating the Bible into Yoruba. This was revolutionary because for the first time, many Yoruba people could read religious texts in their own language. Samuel also wrote Yoruba grammar books, dictionaries, language materials, and educational texts. He helped transform Yoruba into a major written African language. This was not just religion anymore. This was cultural preservation. This was intellectual liberation. And slowly, Samuel Crowther became famous across West Africa. From the 1840s onward, Samuel traveled across West Africa. He entered dangerous territories many Europeans feared. He preached across Yoruba land, Igbo regions, Niger territories, Nupe land, and Hausa areas. But Samuel's mission was bigger than preaching. He believed Africans deserve education, literacy, leadership, and dignity. So wherever he went, schools were established. Children learned how to read. Communities learned new skills. Christian missions spread rapidly. And many historians today believe Samuel Crowther helped lay the foundation for modern Western education in Nigeria. Without him, education in many parts of Nigeria may have developed very differently. Samuel later married a woman named Susan Crowther. She too had once been rescued from slavery. She originally known as Asana. She came from a Muslim background before converting to Christianity. Susan became a teacher, a missionary assistant, and strong supporter of Samuel's work. Together, they built one of the most influential Christian families in West African history. They had several children. One of the most famous was Adeosun Crowther, who later became an Anglican archdeacon and missionary. Another important family connection came through his daughter Abigail, because Samuel Crowther later became the grandfather of Abat Macaulay, one of the founding fathers of Nigerian nationalism. Many Samuel Crowther's family influenced religion, education, and Nigerian politics. Then came the moment that changed African church history forever. In 1864, Samuel Ajayi Crowther was consecrated in England as the first African Anglican bishop. This was historic. At a time when Europeans looked down on Africans, Samuel Crowther stood before the world as a bishop. Educated, respected, and powerful, a former slave had now become one of the highest Christian leaders on earth. For Africans across the continent, this became a symbol of hope, proof that Africans could lead themselves, proof that Africans could achieve greatness despite slavery and colonial oppression. But Samuel's greatest battle were not over. Even after becoming bishop, many European missionaries still refuse to fully trust African leadership. Racism poisoned the church system. Some Europeans believe Africans should never lead churches independently. Many of Samuel's African workers were removed unfairly. His authority was slowly weakened. The man who gave his life to Christianity was humiliated by the same institution he served. It broke his heart, but Samuel never abandoned his mission. He continued preaching, he continued teaching, and translating until old age. On December 31st, 1891, Samuel Ajayi Crowther died in Lagos after suffering from a stroke. He was over 80 years old, but his legacy never died. Today, he is remembered as the first African Anglican bishop, a survivor of slavery, a Bible translator, an educator, and a linguist, and one of the fathers of modern Christianity in West Africa. The Yoruba Bible he translated still exists today. The schools connected to his mission transformed generations, and his stories remain one of the greatest African stories ever told. A boy once chained for slavery ended up changing an entire continent. Samuel Ajayi Crowther's life teaches us something powerful. No matter where you begin, your story does not have to end there. From slavery to bishop, from suffering to greatness, from chains to legacy. This is why African history must never be forgotten. If you enjoyed this documentary, Subscribe now to Arole Olodumare on YouTube and TikTok. Like this video, share it with others, and comment below what part of Samuel's Crowther story shocked you the most. Until next time, keep learning, keep discovering, and keep the African story alive. Imagine a country where fuel is cheaper than water, education is completely free, healthcare is free. A country so rich, it is people didn't worry about survival.
Then suddenly, bombs fall from the sky, the leader is haunted, the government collapses, and within months, the entire nation is gone.
How did Libya rise to power? Why did the United States and its allies attack it? And how did one of the Africa's richest nations fall into chaos? To understand this, we must go back thousands of years. Long before oil, before modern borders, Libya was already important. The first known people here were the Berbers, also called Amazon. They were warriors, traders, survivors of the desert. Then came the Phoenicians. Around 1000 BC, they built powerful trading posts along the coast. Libya became a gateway between Africa and Europe. But then came the Greeks. They built the city of Cyrene, a city of knowledge, philosophy, and wealth. And then the empire that conquered almost everything, which is the Roman Empire. Libya became one of Rome's richest regions. Grain flowed from Libya to feed the empire, but no empire lasts forever. Rome fell, and Libya changed hands again. In the 7th century, a powerful new force emerged, the Islam. Muslim armies swept across North Africa. Libya became part of the Umayyad Caliphate, then later the Abbasid Caliphate. Islam spread deeply, and today almost all Libyans are Muslim. But Libya was still not independent. It was ruled by empires, not by itself. In 1551, Libya became part of the Ottoman Empire. Local rulers like the Kamanli dynasty governed the land, but real power was far away, in Istanbul. For centuries, Libya waited. Then came 1911. Italy invaded Libya. The people resisted, led by a fearless man, Omar Mukhtar. He fought using guerrilla warfare, but Italy responded with brutality. Village destroyed, people in prison, thousands unalive. Omar Mukhtar was captured and executed. Libya was crushed. After World War II, Libya finally became free. In 1951, a king was crowned, Idris I. Then came the discovery that changed everything. It was oil. Libya became rich, very rich. In 1969, a young officer launched a coup. His name was Muammar Gaddafi. He removed the king and promised power to the people. He nationalized oil and used the wealth for the citizens. Free education, free healthcare, housing support. Libya became one of the richest countries in Africa. But there was another side. No elections, no opposition, total control. Gaddafi ruled for over 40 years. Gaddafi challenged global powers, especially the United States. He was accused of supporting militant groups. Then came a shocking event, Lockerbie bombing. Libya was blamed. Sanctions followed. The country was isolated. In 2011, protests began during the Arab Spring. The government responded with force. Then NATO intervened, led by NATO, with support from the United States. Airstrike destroyed military targets. Gaddafi's government collapsed. He was captured and unalive. People expected freedom. Instead, it was chaos. Militias took over. Private government formed. Libya split into regions: Tripolitania, Cyrenaica, and Fezzan. Today, Libya has no single ruler. Power is divided between government of national unity and forces led by Khalifa Haftar. The country remains unstable. Libya had everything: wealth, power, and opportunity. But today, division, conflict, uncertainty. So ask yourself, was Libya destroyed from within or from outside? If you want more powerful, eye-opening stories like this, subscribe now to Ayo Olaiya on YouTube and TikTok, because the next story might be even more shocking. Bye for now. Amputation, public clashes, death for living a religion. This is not ancient history. This is happening in the part of the world today under something called Sharia law. But here is what they don't tell you. Sharia is not one law. It is not one system. And depending on who interprets it, it can shape daily life or enforce some of the harshest punishment on earth. So what is the truth, and more importantly, should it exist in the modern world? This documentary is brought to you by Ayo Olaiya, where we uncover the world's deepest secrets and untold story. What is Sharia? Sharia literally means the path, but don't be fooled by the simplicity of the word. Sharia is not a book of law. It is built from the Quran, the Hadith, and centuries of human interpretation. The last part changes everything, because once human interprets religion, you don't get one system, you get many. If this is your first time here, subscribe right now on YouTube and follow us on TikTok at Ayo Olaiya, because what you are about to see is not ordinary lecture. Now, let's continue. Here is something rarely discussed. Some of the laws associated with Sharia did not emerge in a vacuum. Before Islam, Arabia already had a system of tribal justice, punishment for theft, rules about adultery, and strict ideas of honor and retaliation. These were not unique to Arabia. Across the ancient world, similar laws already existed. In the Code of Hammurabi, harsh punishments were clearly defined. In the Torah, legal rules also governed morality and justice. So the idea of strict punishment was already part of human legal history. Then came Islam. When Islam emerged under Prophet Muhammad in the 7th century, it didn't simply erase everything that existed before. Instead, it reshaped it. Some practices were modified, some were rejected, others were reinforced, but now tied to divine authority. Later, between 700 and 900 CE, scholars formalized these ideas into legal systems. Like Abu Hanifa, Malik ibn Anas, Al-Shafi, Ahmad ibn Abba. Each interpretation shaped how millions would live. So ask yourself, is this purely divine law or a system shaped by both revelation and human history? If you are still watching this, you are not here by accident. This is Ayo Olaiya, and we don't just tell story, we reveal hidden secrets. Now, we get to the part that sparked global debate. The punishment under strict interpretations of Sharia. Theft, cut off the hand. We found it in the Quran 5 verse 38. Adultery, 100 lashes. Quran 24 verse 2. And in some interpretations, stoning to death. From collections like Sahih al-Bukhari, apostasy, leaving Islam, death. Based on certain Hadith traditions, one of the most controversial issues today, especially in a world that values freedom of belief. Alcohol, punished with lashes, Hadith base, armed robbery, execution, crucifixion, or exile. Quran 5 verse 33. Here is where opinion collide. Supporter says it enforces discipline. Some say it prevents crime. Some even say it protects morality. But critics argue these punishments are too extreme. They conflict with modern human rights standards, and they can be misused by those in power. Because when law is tied to religion, disagreed with the law can be seen as opposing the religion itself. Sharia is not just theory, it is reality. Strong enforcement in Saudi Arabia, Iran, Afghanistan. Partial use in northern Nigeria, Pakistan, and Indonesia. But these places are not the same. Different governments, different cultures, and different realities. Some of these countries report low-stream crime, but at what cost? Strict rules, heavy punishment, or limited freedoms. So the question becomes, is it true peace or enforced order? Sharia law is not just a legal system, it is a clash of worlds between past and present, between belief and freedom, between authority and human rights. And here is the uncomfortable truth. If part of it was shaped by ancient systems, then it is not beyond question, and anything that cannot be questioned can become dangerous. The future doesn't depend on silence, it depends on who is willing to ask hard questions. Not to hate, not to blindly accept, but to understand and then decide. If you enjoyed this documentary, don't forget, subscribe to Ayo Olaiya on YouTube for more deep historical revelations, and follow us on TikTok at Ayo Olaiya for daily powerful insights, because the next stories we are dropping will shake your understanding of history even more. Everything you think you know about Egypt is incomplete. The pyramid, the pharaoh, even the people living there today. There is a part of the story they didn't teach you. A civilization that lasted over 5,000 years, ruled by god kings, conquered by empires, yet somehow it never disappeared. And by the end of this video, you will understand how Egypt rose, how it fell, and why it still exists today. But first, we need to answer one question. How did a desert become the greatest civilization on earth? This is Ayo Olaiya, where we uncover the world's deepest secrets. Look at Egypt on a map. Almost everything is desert. So how did millions of people survive here? At about thousands of years ago, the answer is a river. River Nile. Every year it flooded, and when the water went down, it left behind something priceless. Fertile land, food, life, and this is where everything began. But something happened around 3100 BCE that changed history forever. At a time when the world was still scattered into a small tribe, one man did something no anyone had ever done before. His name is Nama. He didn't just rule, he united an entire civilization. Upper Egypt and Lower Egypt became one, and just like that, the first true kingdom in history was born. But Nama didn't call himself a king, he became something far more powerful. They were called Pharaoh, but here is something most people don't know. Pharaoh didn't originally mean the king. The name Pharaoh came from the word Pera, which means great house. At first, it referred to the palace, the center of power, but over time, the palace became the ruler, and the ruler became the state itself. So a pharaoh wasn't just a king, he was Egypt, a living god walking among men, and some of them would try to live forever. Imagine this, you are living 4,500 years ago. No machines, no electricity, and yet you build something so massive. It still stands today. Over 2 million stone, each weighing tons, perfectly aligned. For centuries, people asked the same question: how? Aliens? Lost technology? And the answer is no. The truth is even more impressive. It was human intelligence, organization, and power. But here's the real question: why building something like this? The answer lies in depth. Egypt wasn't just building, it was fighting, expanding, dominating, and one man became the face of that power. His name, Ramesses II. A ruler so powerful, he called himself a god. He led massive armies, fought one of the greatest battles in ancient history, and turned Egypt into a superpower. But even power like this doesn't last forever. For thousands of years, one story has been told over and over again. A powerful pharaoh chasing his enemies, only to be swallowed by the sea. Some say it was Ramesses II, but when historians searched for evidence, they found something unexpected. The answer was no record, no proof, no confirmation. So what really happened? Was it a real event or a story that grew over time? The truth is more complicated than most people think. So now here is where things get controversial. Look at ancient Egyptian painting, then look at a modern Egypt. Many people ask, what happened to the original Egyptians? Were they replaced or did they survive? The answer is not what most people expect, because modern Egyptians are still ancient Egypt, but over thousands of years they mixed, evolved, and changed, not replaced or transformed. Empire rise, empire fall, but Egypt refused to disappear. From the first pharaoh to the modern world, it remains one of the greatest civilizations in human history. And now you know the real story. Subscribe to Arole Olodumare on YouTube, where we uncover world's deepest secrets. See you in the next episode. Until then, stay blessed. What if I told you a tiny island, smaller than most cities, has become one of the most strategically powerful places on earth? A country where the runs one of its most important naval bases. Billions of dollars in oil pass nearby every single day, and one royal family has held power for over 200 years. But here is the part no one explains. This island has been invaded, fought over, controlled by empires and nearly torn apart from within. So how did it survive? How did this small nation become a global power center in the world? And why is the world watching it so closely today? This is the untold story of Bahrain. My name is Aruli Olodumare. This is where we uncover the world's deepest secrets. Long before oil, before modern nations, Bahrain was known as Demon. Over 4,000 years ago, this island was one of the most richest trading hubs on earth. Ships from ancient Mesopotamia arrived here, carrying goods, gold, and stories. Some ancient texts even describe Demon as a paradise on earth. But paradise attracts power, and power attracts war. Over centuries, Bahrain became a battlefield of empires. The Persians took it, then the Greek arrived, calling it Tylos. Then Islamic forces reshaped its identity forever. But the chaos didn't end there. In 1515, the Portuguese Empire invaded, turning Bahrain into a colonial outpost. Almost over 100 years later, Persia took it back again. Bahrain was never free for long until one moment changed everything. In 1783, a powerful Arab dynasty rose to power. They defeated Persian forces and took control of the island. But here is what makes Bahrain different from most nations. That same family still rules it today. More than 200 years later, in a region filled with revolutions and collapsed empires, they never lost control. But even rulers faced stronger powers. In the 1800, Bahrain entered agreement with by 1861, it became a British protectorate. For over a century, Britain controlled its foreign policy. Bahrain had rulers but not full independence. Then everything changed in 1932. Bahrain became the first Gulf country to discover oil. Suddenly, wealth exploded, infrastructure grew, and the island transformed. But wealth brings ambition, and ambition demands freedom. On August 15, 1971, Bahrain finally broke free. It became an independent nation, led by the king, a leader who guided the country into a new era. But independence was just the beginning. In 1999, power shifted. His son took control. Then, in 2002, he made a bold move. He declared Bahrain a kingdom. He introduced reforms like elections, women's voting rights, and a more open political system. But beneath the surface, tensions remained. Bahrain is an Islamic country, but not a strict one. It uses a mixed system like civil law, Sharia law for family matters. This balance makes it different from stricter Gulf states. But religion is only part of the story. Power is the bigger one. Here is where things get serious. Bahrain hosts one of the most important US military bases in the world, the 5th Fleet. This makes it a key ally of the US. In 2002, Bahrain was named a major non-NATO ally. Why does this matter? Because whoever controls this region controls global energy routes. Bahrain sits near one of the most important waterways on earth. A huge percentage of the world's oil passes through here. If this route is blocked, global economies could collapse. That is why Bahrain matters. Bahrain has about 1.5 million people, but here is the twist. Many citizens are Shia Muslims. The ruling family is Sunni. This difference protests erupted during the Arab Spring. The government responded strongly, and since then, the situation has remained sensitive. Today, Bahrain is a financial hub, a modern Gulf state, and a key global ally. But beneath the luxury skyline, there are still questions about the future. From ancient paradise to global power center, Bahrain is not just a small island. It is a nation shaped by war, power, and survival. And in today's world, its importance is only growing. Subscribe to Arole Olodumare, where we uncover the world's deepest secrets. Till the next episode, stay blessed.